Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are watching me from. Let me wait for a few people to jump in. Yeah. How are you all doing today? I hope you all are good. Yeah. From the title that I have today, it's about the RiverBank Apartments, Tatu City. The last couple of weeks have been talking about developments in Kenya, off-plan projects. Yeah, so we're kind of continuing with the same subject. And how are you all today? I hope everybody is good. If you can comment and let me know where you're watching me from. I think I have my comment section today in order. Not like last time. And I hope you all are good. I'm good. It's kind of late where I am. I am in the US and it's what? 12:29. Yeah, so I don't know where you're watching me from. Welcome to the live. And I'm not sure if you guys are aware of those apartments in Nairobi, Kenya. RiverBank Apartments are so beautiful, very, very beautiful. Tatu City too is a development that is like very, very beautiful too. So I don't know, where are you watching me from? Let me know. I see a few people coming in. Don't be shy. Please just type and let me know where you're watching me from. Engage me on the comments. Let's have a discussion. Let's yeah. So I was just the whole building and like development in Kenya, as you have seen in my past videos, is something that is coming to be dear to me. And I've just been curious on how, and like you've seen in the past videos, just me breaking down the reasons. And I promise this video will not be long like the other ones. I promise to just do like maybe 25-30 minutes tops. And so anyway, I was just looking at developments that are like, somewhat stalling, and I was shocked. I thought Tatu City is like all nice and complete. Same to RiverBank Apartments. I thought they are complete. And then when I looked and I'm like, what's going on? I thought, to my surprise, they all had issues. So I'm not sure which one to start with. RiverBanks. I think the RiverBank one is short. Yeah, the RiverBank one is short. We can start with that one. So the RiverBank Apartments, let me add it here so you guys can see. I'll just share my screen. Yeah, share screen, RiverBank Apartments. Okay. I hope it's not too loud. Oh, what happened? Okay, so these are those RiverBank Apartments. Let's just start from the beginning. And you see how, so that is the building. That's the whole RiverBank Apartment building. It's really like a lovely, lovely apartment building. Only thing is, like, to my surprise, this thing is not complete. It was supposed, like I have put in my caption, it started being constructed back in 2010. 2019. 2019. And so they were supposed to have, they started the construction, everything was all good. And I think mid of 2019 is when it all started, and then delays started happening. And they say that it was stemming from overlapping factors, and among the factors that were making it stall were regulatory and approval delays. Then they said funding and investment delays, unforeseen site conditions, market demand strategies in delays, and then COVID-19 happened. So you can imagine from 2019, you'd be expecting such a complex would be complete, but it was not. It was not complete. And part of it, they were saying that the regulation oversight in Nairobi was allowing, of course, many projects. But the problem was they were not being monitored. So now when they started now coming to monitor the projects, they were like, hold on. And then now they're coming to now pretty much maybe doing the approvals and now stalling the project itself. So, of course, came in also cash constraints, because you see, these are luxury apartments, and then they were overpriced also. So even to find buyers was becoming hard for them. And then, yeah. So look at that. Pools, like it's beautiful apartments. Of course, a lift, and yeah, that's like one of the one bedroom, they're showing us a tour of it. And these are so beautiful. Look at that. So beautiful. Overlight, the cabinetry, of course, the fixtures are so beautiful. That's like a whole, looks like almost maybe like a 6 burner or at least a 4 burner. Of course, with an oven, 4 burner, beautiful cabinets, and they look like the soft close type. Look at the cabinets, showers. So these apartments are just like, yeah, they look, I don't know if they're matching the price, but for the location, definitely. Oh, that is beautiful. Let's see that bathtub again. Oh my gosh, look at that. That is so beautiful. So beautiful. Yeah. Yep. He then has sinks. Yeah, so the apartments themselves are very beautiful. They are beautiful. For a 1-bedroom apartment to have such a kitchen in Nairobi, I mean, hey, this is like the same, quality of apartments in abroad, away from Nairobi. Looks like a place in Dubai, right? So yeah, they are beautiful. Even the cabinets. So anyway, yeah, that's one of the apartments. And of course they had different sizes. It was 1, 2, 3 bedrooms. So yeah, but these are like really so beautiful. Just, yeah, really, really beautiful. And so for me, I was like, I thought these apartments are complete, honestly. I really thought these apartments are complete, but they're not. And then when I looked, I'm just like, wondering, it really was surprising to me that from 2019, this is what, 6 years now? I was expecting by now these RiverBank apartments are complete, but they're not. You know, I think the reason why I'm saying they are kind of pricey is one bedroom was going for about 14 million Kenya shillings for a one bedroom. Yeah, that was the sale price. So they're kind of pricey, and I could see how, if they can't be able to sell them, of course, to find enough money to complete them becomes hard. But like we have seen in the previous video that I did, if developers don't involve the bank, they're depending on people to buy. That's why it becomes hard to sell them. But honestly, to my surprise, I really, really thought those apartments are complete. And it's really, to me, it was really surprising, you know? Yeah. But anyway, we'll keep an eye and see how far those apartments will go. And yeah, because they're very beautiful. So I don't know, what are your opinions on that, on the whole RiverBank apartments? Because what I was seeing was, I think there was nothing reported as far as people complaining. But we shall see. We shall see. And it's just the national, the NCA, like we've seen, the NCA in Nairobi, in Kenya, it's still National Housing Commission. There's a lot of work that needs to be done for them to actually, finish the apartments and whatnot. Yeah. Or like even just like the building projects. Anyway, let me see. Let me completely remove that one. And let me find the one for Tatu City. So the Tatu City is the one that, yes, they started building like in 2010. But Tatu City, the same thing. From 2010, they had problems. 2015 is when they had now really like kicked off and started building. But now we are in 2025. It's been 10 years, and you're expecting a project that started 2015, it's already complete. I mean, it's a massive project. It's a massive, massive project, but still, So let me find the Tatu City. And I think this was one of the videos I had seen that this was, I think, from France 24 something. So you can look it up, but this so it said it's a private urban oasis, of course, with uniform, buildings. And it's honestly, this Tatu City is such a beautiful project, because you can imagine this is stretching across a few kilometers from Nairobi, and it's built pretty much kind of like it's beautiful in the sense that it's in the middle of like farmland, So that's what even makes it the more, admirable. And with such, private urban enclave, look at that. their aim was to have it as a model of modern development. Imagine. So beautiful. Such a great idea, you know? So let's listen to this. I think this is the developer.
1,000 people who live and work in Tatu City on a daily basis, people coming in and out as well for jobs. So the development has created a big economic boost for Kenya in terms of the investment.
Yep. And honestly, I was so surprised. Like, do you know they are employing? So what they were saying is they are employing over 25,000 people. Imagine a day. I was like, did I read this correctly? Or am I seeing my own things? I think that's what he said. Or did I cut out the part he said that? Let's see if he said it here while walking. I'm trying to avoid the music because I don't want any copyright issues. But it's really, Tatu City is like mind-blowing, you know? And I think that's where he speaks. Let's go back a little so we don't miss it. Yeah.
The biggest challenges that come and can come in any emerging market, which happened in Kenya, were a number of attempts to slow down the project and extort us.
So it's really sad that such a good project, you know, you would expect that the Kenyan government would be working with this developer to make sure that, you know, such a project is complete quick, fast. But imagine, it ranks 121st out of 180 in Transparency International Corruption Perception Index. So this is just part of the many delays that they've been having, because there've been a lot of sabotage as far as, you know, Tatu City trying to be complete. Look at that, guys. Oh my gosh. Like, oh, such a beautiful place. So the concerns were ranging from environmental negligence to social exclusion, lack of international transparency. But I don't know. Whoever did this, I'm really doubting the authenticity, but I don't know. Yeah. And they were also being accused of,
guess which student has
tax evasion. So if I'm to look, if I'm to let's remove that. If honestly I'm to like even just looking at such a project, you know, it's such a shame that Tatu City would come and have so many hiccups, because remember, their problem was not funding. Tatu City, their problem was not funding at all. At all. These people were coming when they were ready to fund the project, do everything. And imagine, from 2015. So one of the reasons I was seeing that they were having a lot of problems was construction development delay was, let's see, Okay, overview. Oopsie, I had my notes here. So they were saying it was just a lot of bureaucracy, they faced a lot of pretty much like just lack of cooperation from the government, you know? Because you see, Tatu City is in Kiambu County in Nairobi. And these people were bringing in a lot of business. Can you imagine? 25,000 people. And you see around that Kiambu area, because it's more like an agricultural, coffee growers, people just, doing a lot of farming. And guys, are you commenting? I don't see any comments. Hi guys, as you come in, just don't be shy. Leave a comment. Let me know where you're watching me from or what your opinion on the subject is. Yeah. What do you think was part of the delays in completion? So you see, they're saying that, and they had been going to court in and out from like minor stakeholders were just alleging, and there were so many allegations. There were so many caveats being set for them to, start the construction. I feel like part of it maybe was even them being bribed and they were not taking any bribes because you see, this is a foreign investor. For them, they were just coming, clean to do a good project. And then without notifying them, they were issued a 45-day notice. Then it was just a lot of delays. And it was just, in and out of a lot of caveats just being set by the government, or whoever was governing the whole registration process taking so long. And then I think I had seen also part of the problem was the stakeholders were having a lot of power struggles that just caused a lot of delays. And then the land transfers, just like we have seen from the other presentations I've done. Imagine land transfers. And, for me, all I wonder is before these guys came in, the developers of Tatu City, before they came in, of course, they pitched the whole thing to the government. Hey, guys, we want to come and, even like showing them what the plan was. So you wonder what now would bring in the delay? What would bring in all these caveats and, them being given a hard time, even constructing and finishing on time? When now it's coming to be, the land has issues and whatnot. Because my understanding was for Tatu City, correct me if I'm wrong, it was going to be not a freehold, but it was pretty much like the government giving them permission to construct. And then I think they had maybe like was it supposed to be 10? It can't be. Can it be 10 years really? To renew the contract for the land. So it was it's a leasehold. So the land is being owned by the government. And then they're just coming in to construct. And then after that, they renew the contract, or the government takes, control or takes, ownership of the property. So you wonder why now the land transfers were coming to have issues. Like, we honestly, Kenya has it's just a lot of hurdles. When somebody wants to do something, you have to go through so many hurdles. While in the beginning, I'm wondering, like, they were given the go ahead. So what what would now be, causing the delay? And then you see there was a former CBK governor, Nahashon Nyaga, was accused of transferring 900 hectares of Tatu City land to proxies. Imagine. The governor. Kenya. And so he had transferred part of the land to his relative, church members, some staff, through fraudulent trustee transfers. Imagine. While already Tatu City was supposed to, the constructions were already had started on some other parts. And then now they had to halt and go through all these issues. But clearly you see it's starting from the governor. So still goes back to what? Our corrupt leaders. Because if the leaders were not corrupt, things would just be flowing as they're supposed to. Can you imagine a whole 900 hectares? 900 hectares allegedly transferred to his proxies. If you look at even this, oh my God. Oh my goodness. Tatu City is, I think, let me show you guys this other one. Tatu City is one of those projects in Nairobi, or rather Kiambu County, Nairobi, that is so admirable, because this was supposed to be a project that people look at and they're just like, wow, how, when, when? Look at that. It's a massive, massive project. And
demand for the land it now occupies, for the people who have lived here for generations? This is a question I seek to answer.
So for him, he was seeking to find out how comes Tatu City was, how did they come to be in the middle of, you see, he's coming from the coffee plantation that is close by. They're just neighbors.
Every interaction, it's recorded. Even if it's greetings, saying hi, it's captured by the body camera. That's the evidence. The evidence is there. There and there.
And it can be presented in court in case justice was not served.
Sure. And also we have static cameras. The CCTV can run the footage.
At what intervals?
So basically, he was talking about how in Tatu City, they have everything from even the workers working there. They have body cameras. They have cameras all over the place. So there's no way anybody can come and say that, anything wrong is being done.
Well, this speed limit monitor does not discriminate. Anything on wheels must adhere to the speed limit, which is 20 kilometers per hour. Anything beyond that is a violation of city rules and attracts a penalty of at least 1,000 Kenyan shillings.
Clearly, it's a city with order. So anyway, let's tour the city a little.
From where it's heading. So even as we're setting up now, we know it's 5 years' time. Tatu City will not look the way it looks now, in terms of the population, in terms of opportunity, in terms of even competition.
So that was, I will look up the year, but I just wanted us to have like a glimpse of how the city is. So this is when it was being constructed.
Oh, something beautiful coming up here.
Yeah.
I can see.
My name is Dr. Wali. I'm the CEO at Hewatele. My colleague Joanne is a CFO.
Why the name Hewatele?
Hewatele is a Swahili word, plenty of air, because we are in the oxygen space and our core raw material is God-given, atmospheric air, and that's why the name Hewatele.
Okay.
Why am I showing this part? Like you see, like innovation for them was not an issue. Money was not an issue. Like they had everything they need, but bureaucracy.
Ready to join the booming cruise industry? Become
bureaucracy. You know?
Then the environment is always very good, very conducive.
Nasikia ndege.
Nasikia hapa amushwa na ndege hapa. So basically, if you look at their guidelines, how they have put, and you see that you cannot see the electricity.
Look at that, guys. Honestly, like it's the whole thing was it was going to be a city within a city. Like not well, eventually. A city within a city. Hi, Abednego. Abednego says if they paid kickbacks, they wouldn't have many issues. Yeah, you're right. But the thing is, they were stuck on not paying anything. For them, they had said they're not going to pay anything. They will not pay no kickbacks. They will not accept any bribes, you know? And so they just kept bringing so many issues to try and like frustrate this the developers of Tatu City. They were talking about tax evasion. So the minor shareholders and former chairman Nyaga raised tax fraud allegation under the declaration that they had not paid, I think, taxes up to what? I think it was in the tune of like 842 million. Imagine. And to me, it's just, I was honestly so surprised that these guys are still not done. You know? Yes, the rental prices, so many people say the rental prices in Tatu City is too high. You know, they were like one bedroom was going for like 150K. I think that was a buying price, 150,000. No. That was the rental price. So the rental price, one bedroom, 150,000. But of course, their target clientele wasn't going to be the average Mwananchi, the average, Kenyan. They had a certain class that they were targeting, expatriates, people who wanted to come and live there and you have your own little city, you have schools, you have shopping centers, you have everything within the location. So yes, they're very expensive to rent or buy, but I don't know, are they worth it? That's a question I'm posing to you. Are they worth it? I don't know, but they look to be constructed very well. And then also for me, what I was really impressed about was the fact that the amount of job opportunities this place presented. 25,000 people being employed in a day. can you imagine how many, like, once it's complete? So I don't know, like, do you think workers delay constructions to, you know, keep their jobs? Could it be the other issue that people want to keep their jobs? I don't know. You know, let's see. I think I had seen it somewhere here. 25,000 workers, 10,000. I think it was like in the tune of, I had put it on my thing, right? I have put it on my, hi. Welcome, guys. Where are you watching me from? Guys don't like to, they like to comment in people's videos. My goodness. You know? 15, sorry, I misspoke. 15,000 workers in a day working in Tatu City. He was going to provide 5,000 residents. 5,000 residents, imagine. And you can see, this is like, I would love to live there. Honestly, I would love to live in
wires. Connecting, hanging, yes. Everything is underground, including the, you know, this one, the internet connectivity.
Yeah.
Is everything is underground.
So they did the horizontal infrastructure first.
Yes.
The roads, laid
Yes.
roads,
Yes.
made
Yes.
sure that there is.
You heard that, right? So if you're wondering, how come it just looks all green and you don't see any
Actually, I came here. Yeah.
You don't see any piping or any, you know, electric wires and internet cables and whatnot. Everything was underground. Like just the buildings, and they did an extensive, you know, connection for everything. Build the roads before they even started erecting the structures. So it's just a shame, honestly. They should just have had the, you know, the most cooperation to try and finish such a beautiful project and even do 2-3 more.
Amushwa na tudegedege hapa. So basically, if you look at the guidelines, how they have put, and you see that you cannot see the electricity wires connecting, hanging. Yes, everything is underground, including the, you know, this one, the internet connectivity.
Yeah.
Is everything is underground.
Like it's such a beautiful location, honestly.
Yes.
The roads, laid
Yes.
roads,
Yes.
made
Yes.
sure that there is the trench for storm water and everything.
Yes.
Like that.
And you know, when there was that long line, everywhere, probably in our neighborhood, there was too much flood. The road, the rivers, the overflow, and everything. Here we did not get any challenge with the floods. So Naguta, they had done, it's like they had foreseen. So they had.
Yeah. So you see, he's saying they had foreseen how, even like with the flooding, and did the correct, you know, putting not gabions, what are they called? Carabat? What do we call them? Anyway, the water system was already done to avoid any flooding, pretty much is what he's saying.
They had done a very nice drainage.
Okay.
Yeah, very nice. And they have
So
the roads.
Even if it rains and it rains, there wouldn't be any issues of drainage. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Lawrence Wamalwa, let me highlight your comment. Lawrence says, I've joined late. My observation about Tatu City is that they have world-class infrastructure, very impressive stuff. Right? Very, very impressive. And like I posed the question on my title, were they immune to issues, you know? They came in with such an impressive plan, but still, they're not immune to delays. And yeah, I'd like to really thank this the Kenyan historian. He did a good job visiting the site and really highlighting a lot of, good stuff.
The water drains very well. The roads are very nice.
Oh my goodness. Like, I just can't get enough of, look at that. It's such a beautiful, honestly, such a beautiful place. And you see how the whole plan they had was to make it like, standing out, such that when you get into Tatu City, you feel like you're in a different, you're in a different world. You're in a different, you can't really tell that you're in the middle of Kiambu, Just so beautiful.
I would say we have no reason to say that Tatu City have not delivered on their promise. They have actually done so.
If the hand of time was turned back to before you came here, will you do the same that you've done, purchase a land here and build a home?
Actually, I would even do double of it. I have saved for a very long.
Yeah, so he says he saved for a long time and did the construction. So let's listen to this other lady.
I'm going to show you a way to potentially make.
Oh my. Okay, I'll let the advert run on the background. Let me let him make his money. But see how, like, it's such a shame, honestly. For me, I was really hopeful about Tatu City, and I was so surprised when I came to learn that it's not complete. And I witnessed all those issues. Like, I kept seeing on the paper and, people talking about all these issues that they were having and all the hurdles they had to pass through, And it's just it's sad that it's from people who we have elected, to try and develop our country, but they're the same people who don't want to see development in Kenya. That's just the truth. That the politicians we have, most of them are the ones who are costing us. They're the ones who don't want to see development in Kenya, And it's a shame. It is a shame, honestly. Lauren said something else. Let's see. As we are all aware, in Kenya, political interference plays a vital role in development projects. It makes or breaks the effort and can frustrate you. Yep. When they want a piece of the cake. Quite sad. It is quite sad because Tatu City was not coming in as one of the projects where it's honestly, if so many developers can borrow from that, because they came in fully funded. They already had their own fundings. Yes, they had their issues, internal issues, with just power play, but it was fully funded. But the reality is the political interference, just like Lawrence is saying, is pretty much what caused a lot of delay. Can you imagine a project starting in 2010? This is 2025. Tatu City is not complete yet. Even for them, do you think they'd want to do another project in Kenya, honestly, after this? Would they? Would they really want to do another project in Kenya? you know, you when somebody does when a developer is coming to do a project, it's like you're putting money somewhere, and you know, you're giving yourself plus or minus maybe like 2 years or a year from when you're, you know, supposedly hoping to finish the project. But now for them, it's been over 10 years and the project is not complete. Imagine. Have they even, I don't even know if, maybe I need to check and see, have they even been able to even get their money back? Do you guys think they've been able to like even break even from the investment they've done so far? I don't think so, but I could be wrong. You know, I don't think so. I honestly don't. So let's listen to this other lady.
You could have gone to other places.
I think Tatu City is the new area, the area to be watching at the moment, bringing the city out here to Tatu. The environment is lovely. Our students are not in the city center. Our students are out in this beautiful environment. As you can see around us, there's not many buildings at the moment, although they are coming up. But it's a lovely area for our students. Our students are coming from all over Kenya, from as far as Karen, and areas sort of within that area. I think we've got about 16 buses that travel in every day. But from the Tatu area in particular, it's growing now, all the new developments that are happening, the companies that are in the area, but we also have a lot of housing developments in the area. We chose a new area because this is the new economic zone. So this is where people will be coming. So this is where the school will...
Yeah, so they have a school, they have like everything. I just want to pause where they're showing the aerial view. Oh, come on. Yeah, but I just looked up as the video was playing. Nope. Of course, they have not broken even on the investment. Nope. Of course, they can't have. Oh, well. They can't have.
Every child a masterpiece. They are going to be global leaders, and that is all through academic excellence.
Good morning. Is everything okay?
Yes, everything is okay. And honestly, it's like, to me, it becomes so frustrating when I see such. I'm like, why would we be wanting our country not to have such projects and having full support? Because honestly, I feel like part of the problem is the few wanting to like keep all the money. If you look at even the housing project that His Excellency was trying to do, I cannot even compare that to what these Tatu City guys are doing. Can you guys compare? Like, why wouldn't the housing projects be such a thing then? You know, it's not that the country doesn't have money. It does. You know? Why? Like, why? You get me? Like, isn't it frustrating that even our own government, we are still doing... You remember, like, during the Nyayo era times, Nyayo, our first president of Kenya, the Nyayo era times, those are now what this housing project is looking like. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? You would expect that now the government is going to be doing such a thing, that when you're looking at building, you're building futuristic, you know, you're building thinking ahead. You're just not building houses that that are really not even decongesting decongesting the city. It would be a place away from the city that is self-reliant. That yes, this is people who are living in the slums, but are you to say that they're the ones who don't require a better kind of life? You know? So I get so frustrated to just look at how Tatu City guys are being frustrated, honestly. To me, it just makes no sense. What do you guys think?
Ultra-modern school, because what we're looking at is a future of our students. It's a future of our students to align with the global community, and that's actually what Tatu City stands for. The Tatu City, in as much as it's real estate residential, it aligns with the school's vision and motto. This is a growing city. This is a growing school. Are you seeing how they're coming together? That this is what we want.
Look at that vision. Like, guys, this is what I'm talking about. Like, these guys had a plan that is so futuristic. It's not where it's just building and then forgetting about, they're just putting up buildings and then people continue with the normal hustle. So you can imagine, for me, looking at even Tatu City, I was like, this housing project that the government is doing, why wouldn't they implement it to be like Tatu City? Where, or even now, tell them, you know what, guys, we are going to give you full cooperation. Looks like you guys really know what you're doing. How about now we give you all this land? We give you this land and this land and this land. You know? If really our leaders wanted to see a lot of development, in my opinion, that is what they could have done. But we know they are the ones who want to get the lion's share of everything, which is such a sad situation. But yeah.
School catering to the needs of those who are interested in Tatu City.
Okay. And what role does it play in the growth of the city, like the school?
If you look at human capacity, any city requires a human capacity, and the human capacity are the people. We look at those people. Who are the people coming to Tatu City? What are their needs? Everybody will be thinking about education. Am I going far if I have a young child? Crawford International School is there. Am I looking at my teenager to grow in an environment that is peaceful?
Yeah. So that Crawford school is just futuristic.
Bicycle, safely cycle to school, park your bike here, do your school for the day, your sports for the day, and then cycle back home again. So it's that freedom for the children, that they're not within, a busy center, that they can't go and cycle down the road or they can't walk.
Look at that. Like, honestly, guys, like I'm even tongue-tied, so frustrated with the government of Kenya. Why aren't they, like, they already were given, guys, let's be realistic. They were pitched all this. Why they were frustrating these guys of Tatu City, I don't know.
Down the road, where we are positioned, it's quite clearly positioned for that.
The biggest difference is
ChatGPT.
Seriously? Yeah, ChatGPT is so good. It's helping us. I didn't even know somebody can use ChatGPT to find directions. I thought it's only Google, so even to find directions. For me, I look at ChatGPT as maybe like other resources, but not directions. But yeah, people use even ChatGPT for directions. So anyway, I digress. Yeah, so Tatu City for me is one of the projects I really love and would love to highlight here. And like we've seen, it has everything. Can you imagine the number of people who will find permanent employment in Tatu City, apart from even the construction? From the teachers who will be teaching in those schools to everybody managing the place, and like it's already a job opportunity, and then also decongesting the city, because this is 5,000 people, housing for 5K people. 5,000 people is a lot. That's a lot of people. That's how big Tatu City is. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what the future is for Kenya, but it's sad to see such a project getting so, frustrated, them being frustrated, because you would expect that such a project would be one that they just get an easy time, Everybody would just be jumping on them like, you know what? Yes, let's get this done and let's do 20 other projects. Let's do 30 other projects. So let's continue.
In culture, the way that students are able to discover themselves, because what I experience a lot in 844 is that there's a set path and there's only one path, right? You're either...
So I think they're just talking more about the school, and of course they have like what doesn't Tatu
Umesema tutafute kitu. Which is your favorite?
So ideally, roast is all about meat. So starting off with the steaks, trickling down to the pork ribs. We also have some nice platters.
Like there's nothing they don't have, from restaurants to, the school to workout places to, yeah.
When I was doing my business research, I knew very well if I set up my business at Tatu City, my first client will be the people who are working there, and they have the vision to bring about 50,000 people to work at Tatu City. And then there are so many industries that are coming in. So for me, I thought it's a very good opportunity, and I cannot.
Did he say 50,000? 50,000 people. Anyway, I don't want to go for too long. You guys get the point, right? You guys get the point. Like, when you're talking about development and you see such a development and you see the developers being frustrated, they haven't gotten their investment back. They haven't even broken even. They're still selling Tatu City. And then you see, like, even now, like I said in the last video, inflation already kicked in. You cannot compare the price of building in 2010 and now in 2025. You see? So it's sad that such a project would have no support or very little support from the government. Very sad. So they're saying in November of 2024, Stanbic Bank Kenya extended a 21 million loan to finance housing and infrastructure within Tatu City. 21 million. So these guys are being given a loan. And you see, that's where you just look, and I empathize with them. Can you imagine how many loans they have that they have to service? Because of course, the loans have a time period. So you're being given a loan. They, of course, have been given a loan, and then you have to get another loan to pay your previous loan, because your their projection was that by what? I think, had they said like 6 years or 7 years to finish? Now we are going in 10 and counting, and the project is not complete. Private equity contributions and international financing have been significant, over $115 million US dollars. The one for Stanbic, I forgot to mention, the 21 million was in USD dollars. So they already had another loan for 115 million devoted to infrastructure and a total investment plan exceeding 1.53 billion USD. Still not complete. Guys. And then somebody just still does delays. Then you see that governor was like trying to, like, you know, get the farm, the shamba, the land, and give it to his cronies. Like, you wonder why. If you ask yourself, why is Kenya where it is? This is why. Why is Kenya not why is development in Kenya still under par? It's because of such reasons, that you have investors coming in, heavily investing in a project and not getting the complete support from the government. That is why. Because how does somebody play with 1.53 billion USD into a project? Just, I don't know, like, it just, it's beyond imagination. Beyond. So, I don't know. Comment down below. Let me know. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think is the way forward? And you see, somebody might wonder, Gladys, what is it? What is it? Why do you keep talking about these land issues? Because guess what? Or like off-plan projects or building projects. Simply because when you look at development in a country, right now I'm living in the US, and I have seen how so many groups of like different groups of people want to develop Kenya or want to develop Africa. But for example, like now in Kenya, these are the kind of hurdles that people go through. Like, if such a big investor, Tatu City, is having an issue, what about like now me and my few friends who want to develop Kenya? It becomes very difficult. If RiverBank Apartments are even still, not complete, like, big projects are given such a hard time. So what about me and you who want to, come together and let's do from our chamas or from our different, table banking groups and say, you know what, let's develop our country? It becomes very difficult. So for me, I just looked at Tatu City and I was like, this thing is not complete yet. And even now, let's even now look at even the people who bought into Tatu City. The people who came in immediately, like in 2010, when it inceptualized. These are people who we're expecting to like, the project would be now up and going, complete. Maybe they're even looking to have those apartments or homes to be their retirement homes, or somebody who was planning to quit their job and come and work full time. Like, we don't want to stay abroad. We want to come to our country, but these are the kind of hurdles. These are the kind of things that just, make people get so frustrated. So anyway, I don't see any more comments. Comment down below. Let me know. Let's continue with this conversation, because like I said, even in the previous videos, for me, my point of doing all this is just to highlight and to just let us talk, discuss. Let us see what is it we can do. Honestly, like for Tatu City, what is it that we can do different? What is it that we can do different? Of course, the first thing would just be choosing the leaders wisely. Because this is in Kiambu County. Like, Kiambu is one of the counties in Nairobi that is so developed, very developed. So you would think even the people living around that Kiambu area, the people who are electing these leaders, whoever elected this governor, like, guys, 2027 is not too far. So yeah, be smart on how you do your elections. And please, let your voice be heard. Because the only way we are going to see change in Kenya is having better leaders and changing our mindset. Mindset is everything. Like, if I look at how, say, for example, like in the US, how they do their development, is because businesses are given such an easy time. You don't pay your taxes until end of the year. You're given financial support. You can get loans easily. You can get, business loans are easy to get by, to acquire. You find, I can say, like, any person who wants to do a good business in the US, it's easy. But in Kenya, opening a business and even doing a business is the hardest thing you can ever do. It's like pulling the wisdom teeth with your hands. It's so difficult to open a business. And then look at even business insurance. There's no business insurance. People who get their business looted, or like even during the demonstrations, people who had their businesses destroyed, you're coming back to pay by yourself. Will the insurance really cover for your business? Most likely not. So honestly, those small changes that we need to do towards our country, and making sure that these are the things that would just help us to, like, grow our country. Goodness, I can talk. How long have I been going? Let me see. How long have I been going? 45 minutes. I said 30 minutes. I said last time, I don't want to do too long of videos. Even I saw a comment saying, Gladys, just, don't do too long videos, because I did, I think, an hour 45 minutes, my last video. I'm so sorry. So I'm trying to make it short, but these things just keep me going. Like, it gets me so, I'm passionate about it, because I'm passionate about my country. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Let's keep engaging on the comments. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, kindly do that. Oh, I think I hadn't seen a comment here. Sorry about that. And thank you for coming. The rental price are kind of misinformed, because I'm living in a 2-bedroom apartment with ensuite. Oh, Unity Homes, Tatu City. Oh, okay. Is that for rental? I think the price I was quoting was for buying. Or did I quote the rental price? Okay. 2-bedroom apartment. Okay. Per month. That's not bad. That's really good. That is good. And those, honestly, those are beautiful. Okay, Lawrence had put another comment I hadn't seen. I've joined late. My observation about Tatu City is that, okay, I think I had read that. World class, yeah, definitely. Definitely, yes. So, yeah, 55,000 is not bad at all. That is nice. That's good. It's beautiful. I mean, I bet you're really enjoying being there. Yeah. It's really worth it. You get everything. Quiet, secure, you know? So anyway, let's keep the conversation going. Like I was saying, if you haven't subscribed, please do. I'm really grateful for you guys watching, and yeah, we'll continue with these discussions, and you guys be safe, okay? Be safe, and please subscribe, and until the next one, kwaheri, bye bye, ciao.